Hey guys, welcome back to Karting with Chris. Today's video is going to be the Summer 2 final race. Now if you haven't seen my last video, I highly recommend watching it. One of my favorite races of all time. Spoiler alert, I finished in first place, but still, I would highly recommend watching it. It was really good. So we're starting in first place for this race, and I'm not gonna lie, in the pits I was really nervous because I didn't want to screw things up. Starting in first, usually the guy who starts in first by the end of the first lap is still in first, but I really wanted to maintain my position and not, screw anything up. So before we begin, I'm going to give you the driver lineup real quick. Again, I suck at remembering people's names. I do have a list of them right here, but I just don't want to mispronounce them. So here we are. I'm starting in first, and everyone else is behind me. So one of the perks of being in first place is you get to control how fast the grid goes at the start of the race. So my plan was to go crazy slow, because if you're going too fast, they might restart it, and I don't want them to keep restarting it. So I'm going to go crazy slow, and then by the time I get close to the acceleration cones, I'm going to slam the gas. So coming out of the last couple of corners here, we can see Ethan to the right of us. He's going to try to do his best and not allow me to pull away at the beginning. I tap the back of my helmet, tell the person behind me to start pushing me a little, and then we give it the beans, flagman waves green, and we're good to go. So right off the bat, I got a pretty good start, and now we're going to try and pull away from the pack as much as possible, trying to eliminate that draft. And it turns out that I didn't quite accomplish that. But we do have Ethan right behind us. He did manage to hold second, which is pretty impressive. So going down the straight here, we're going to receive a nice tap from Ethan. He's willing to work together with me, and hopefully we can pull away from everyone else. So one of the things about being in first place is that it's really hard to pull away from people, because I have no draft, but everyone else behind me does have a draft. So I'm kind of vulnerable here. There's not really much you can do about that sort of stuff. You can try and pull away, and that will help, but that's really all you can do. So my goal here is to just be as consistent and as fast as possible. It's a little easier said than done, but that's what I'm going to try and achieve. So what the person behind me, Ethan, is probably wanting to do is he wants to pull away from Ava and everyone behind her, so it's just a two-way battle for first. It both eliminates more competition for him and me, and we can have a better and cleaner fight that way. So coming out of these last couple of corners here, we're going to see Ethan go for a move on me through turn one. It's not going to be something I'm going to try and fight, as we can see him pulling alongside me through turn one. I'm not going to fight it. If he thinks he's faster than me, I'm going to trust him. He's pretty smart, he's pretty fast, so if we can work together and pull away from the people behind, then I'm down to do that. I don't care who's in front of me. So coming out of the chicane here, we're going to look behind me, and we can see there is a gap to third place behind me. So I'm just going to push Ethan down the straight here. We're going to work together. We're going to play the long game. It is 16 laps. We still have a lot of laps in front of us. But I will say, if he does make a mistake, I will pass him, because we can't have any mistakes. Coming out of the last couple of corners, we can see that he did take the corner a little better, but we can see that I caught up to him by the end of the straight, because he has no draft. That's what I was saying. First place, it's hard to pull away when you're in first place in these kind of karts, because the draft is so important. So if you've noticed in the top left corner that my GoPro is really shaky, you can see through the chicane, really shaky. I actually don't know what happened. Usually my stabilization is pretty good. Maybe my nose cone was shaking like crazy, but I don't know, I'm probably going to have to investigate that. So I'm sorry if the video quality is not very good for this video. So we're about to end lap 4, start lap 5. We can see that draft is really working for us, and it's allowing us to catch up to Ethan. Going through turn 1, Ethan gets sideways. He goes a little slow. I pull alongside him through turn 2, and now we're back into first place. Really don't like passing like that, especially when we're trying to pull away from people. But like I said before, if someone makes a mistake, you can't just keep pushing them. You got to go around them. So going down the front straight here, Ethan is pushing us. He's got the same game plan as me. If I mess up, he's going to pass me. but I'm going to try and set as many fast laps as I can and as consistently as I can, just like we were at the start of the race, because Ava is watching us. She is trying to catch up to us, and if we keep passing each other, she will catch up to us. So at the moment, Ava's not within reach of us, so we just gotta keep our heads down. So one thing I will say that was really stressing me out through this race was Ethan actually pushing me. I want him to push me, but it was kind of making me feel like he's saying, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. You're going too slow, let's go. So I was really stressing out. I was trying not to mess up, but sometimes through turn one, you'll see me get a little too much of that apex in turn one. Usually you don't want to get any of it, you just want to get close to it. So I was really kind of nervous throughout the race. I was trying to keep my composure, but yeah, I was really nervous. So I'm going to skip ahead a couple laps. I know you're probably thinking, no, Chris, don't skip. We want to see you in first place. But it was just me and Ethan working together, again, trying to pull away from Ava. I don't want to have to ramble on about random crap, so I'm just going to skip ahead a couple laps. So we're now on lap 10, and I've officially led more laps than Carlos Sainz has in his entire F1 career. So I'm waiting for my contract from Ferrari in the mail. So if I don't show up in the next race, I'm probably going to be with Ferrari. So coming out of these last couple of corners here, Ethan is going to go for a move on us into turn one. He's had enough of us in the front. So going through turn one, I don't fight it. I just let him go through. We still got a couple more laps to go, but Ava is now right on our bumper. So it was a smart move from Ethan. He knew Ava was catching us, and if he made a pass on me, it would allow Ava to be right on my bumper. And so if you're in a train of three and the laps are going down, you probably want to be at the front of the pack, so all you have to do is defend, versus when you're in the middle, like I am, you either attack or defend. So coming out of these last couple of corners here, we're not going to go for a move on Ethan. We can see that we've got that draft, we're going to push him, but Ava decides to pass me going into these corners up here. She's got a lot more top end than me. I try and hold it around the outside actually, and she pushed me a little wide, and now the top three are actually spaced out. So after watching this video, trying to hold it around the outside probably wasn't the best idea. I probably should have either slid in behind her or get the undercut on her. But us trying to pass each other has allowed Ethan to pull away, and me trying to hold it around the outside has allowed Ava to pull away from me. So no one's in a draft right now, so we're all kind of in no man's land, sort of. But I know that from qualifying, the Ava and Ethan were both faster than me. So at this point, I'm really trying to make sure that they don't pull away from me and don't work together and try and eliminate me from getting first place. So coming out of turn three, if you do look in the top left corner, you can see that there is really no one behind me to catch up to me. So if you're new to my channel, you will know that getting a podium is something I've been really close to. I usually get 4th and 5th, but during this race I was thinking to myself, hey, I might lift the curse, I might finally get that podium. So coming out of these last couple of corners here, we can see Ava has actually caught Ethan's draft. So going into turn one, we can see that she is right on Ethan's bumper, and so this is not good news for us, but we are on lap 14, and so usually around here is where we start seeing people go for moves and start battling. So if they start battling, I will have a shot of catching up to them. So coming out of the chicane right here, we can see Ava's right on Ethan's bumper. She goes out to the left. She's going to try and get that first place, and this will allow me to catch up to them. They are still quite a bit ahead of me, and as you can see going through turn 7, I did catch up. Going through these slower corners, it may look like I'm close, but coming out of the faster corners, we can see the gap is still quite large, and Ethan is within Ava's draft. I'm not quite within their draft, and you can see they are pulling away from me on the straights. So we're on the second to last lap, and we know that people are going to be going defensive and people are going to be attacking on those laps. So at this point, I'm not really freaking out. I know that I will be able to catch up to them. It's just I gotta really time my moves correctly. So going down the front straight here, Ethan's gonna go for the move on Ava into turn 7. He's gonna send it on the inside, Ava's not going to really fight it too much. Ethan goes defensive through 8 and 9, and then I give Ava a little tap going through 8 and 9 here. I didn't really get the best of exits through there, but still, we've got one more lap to figure things out. Ethan's going super defensive into turn 1. He's not letting anyone in. That allows me to catch up even more. Going through turn 2, he goes defensive again. He's really making sure no one passes him. Going through turn 3, Ava's going to send it on the inside. I see my opportunity to pounce. We go 3 abreast going into the chicane. There's contact and we get spun around. And now we are in 8th place. So I go in the grass here trying to turn around. I'm in the mud, can't really quite turn around. And I'm going to show you the replay of exactly what happened there. So before I begin, I'd just like to say that this was absolutely no one's fault. It was just a bunch of people trying to go into one corner. It just didn't end up very well for me. So this is just a racing incident, so please don't think it's anyone's fault. So going into turn 3 here, Ava goes for the move on the inside of Ethan. It's a very clean move, I will say. No contact is made. I see my opportunity because they're going slow. I'm going to try and send it on the inside of the chicane. We can see Ethan did go sideways there, and we were just basically too close to each other. One wheel got under another, and then next thing you know, I'm spun around. So we're going to show the backwards camera. It does a little more justice. So coming out of turn 3, I'm actually looking to the left of me, and I see Ethan go sideways, and he bangs into Ava, and then Ava bangs into me, and then we freeze frame it right here, and that doesn't look very comfortable. And then I'm right on top of Ava's nose cone, and I'm spun around, and next thing you know, Mackenzie is heading towards me. So I'm going to show you one more view. Hunter Stein, he's in my class. His father took this video, I believe. So coming out of turn 3, we can see Ethan gets sideways right there, bangs into Ava, and then Ava bangs into me. I get air, and then next thing you know, I'm facing the wrong way. So before you ask, yes, everyone is okay. I talked to them. They all said they were okay. I'm not sure how my kart is, but I'm pretty sure it's good. But this whole event really just reminded me of a quote that Senna once said.
By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory. It's not to come 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th.
So yes, obviously I was extremely upset as soon as it happened. I mean, my first shot at a podium, was within view. And I could have easily have just sat back and taken 3rd. But I saw that gap, I went for it, and racing drivers were always going for first. So do I regret, going for a move through the chicane? No, not at all. I saw it, I went for it. Did it work out? No. But I learned something from this. Yes, you can always do something different to better your chances of winning in a race. But overall, I wasn't that upset with it. I still had a very fun race, and that's really all that matters to me. So I'd hate to end this video on a sad note, but sadly, not every race is perfect. Huge shout out to Mackenzie. It was her first time on the podium. Hopefully I'll see you up there one day. And mega shout out to Ethan and Ava. Brilliant racing between them, and I'm hoping that I get more races with them in the future. So that's all I have for today. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, please comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.